Hi everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for another Mystery Monday video. January 24th, crazy. One more week left in January. The month is just flying by. So today we're going to take a look at another new bundle in the new January to June mini, and it's the Hello Ladybug Bundle. And you can find that on page 20 of the mini. It's right here. And the bundle is the stamp set and the coordinating punch, which sell for $44. And there's also some other really cute samples here. So this is what we are going to use to make a project today. And I will show you what we are making. This is the card. But what's different about it is it's actually, I believe it's called a cube card. So this layout I found, or I came across at an event I was at last weekend, and Elizabeth Green, another Canadian demo, had demonstrated this. So this is sort of the front of it, and then it keeps going, and then the greeting is on the back. So really kind of a fun twist on a card. And what's nice too is that when it lays flat, it fits into a regular envelope, so you can pop this in the mail. So I'm going to show you how we did this, and I will post all the measurements on the post when we are done. So I started with a piece of Very Vanilla as the base. And this is cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and we scored it at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8. And then I also have a little piece that's going to be our hinge. And this is cut at 5.5 by 1, and it's scored at 1/2 inch. So let's go ahead and just crease all of those score lines here to create our cube, our box. And I've been having so much fun with this ladybug set this week. I've just, taken some formats or layouts and tried to incorporate this set in so many different ways, and it's just been so much fun to use. Okay, so that will be our cube, and then I'm just going to fold this here. We're going to set this aside till a little bit later when we assemble our little box. Okay, so then on each of these panels I have cut, okay, let me see, I've cut some crumb cake, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. Okay, so this is going to fit on all of these panels. And then I cut 3 of the early espresso. I wanted this to look like the ladybug was sort of working its way up a tree. Okay, so I wanted this to kind of look like tree bark. So what I did with the espresso is I cut these down to 5 by 1 5/8. And then I ran them through the bark embossing folder, which looks like this. So you can fit all 3 of these pieces on at once and run this through your die cutting machine, and they come out looking like bark. So you can decide which side you would like to show. So, and then for the third panel where our greeting is going to go, I cut another piece of vanilla. And that was cut at the same dimension as the espresso at 5 by 1 5/8. And we're going to do some stamping on that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we will, I'm just going to set this aside, put the bark on top of these crumb cake pieces. So like I said, you can decide which side of the bark you would like to show. And then I'm just going to assemble all of these first here. And I love this bark 3D folder. It's awesome. It's in the large catalog if you're looking for it in our annual catalog. And it's really great for nature cards or any sort of masculine cards. It makes really, really neat backgrounds too. So really great embossing folder, and it's a 6x6, so you get quite a piece embossed when you use it. Okay, so let's put these on our base here. And we will put this here. What's nice about this vanilla is you can actually see where your score lines are. Sometimes when you use the darker base, it's a little trickier to see them. So, okay. Do that, and then one more before we do some stamping on our last panel. Okay, all right. So on this piece, I am going to do some stamping. So I'm going to put our greeting from the stamp set. Now there's a couple of different ones in here. Hello, it's a good day. You can bug me anytime, which is cute, my friend, but I'm going to use May Your Greatest Wish Come True. I like that one. Makes for a really nice birthday card too. So this, because I'm using the espresso in the cardstock, I'm gonna stamp my greeting in early espresso as well. And I'm just gonna put that a little bit more to the top, so we have, you know, room to write your little signature or your message. And then I thought, well, that's kind of plain, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of the florals from the stamp set. So these little patch of 3 flowers here. And I'm going to do those in real red, because ladybugs are typically real red. So I'm just going to stamp these, a little border at the top and a little border here at the bottom. And it doesn't matter if all the flowers show up. Some can be cut off. That's always a great little effect. Okay, so now we can put this on our crumb cake. And then we'll put the crumb cake on that last panel. Oh, I did smear a little bit there. The red was still a little bit wet. So just be aware of that you give it a little bit of time to dry. Okay, so let's bring our base back and we will put this here. All right, so now what we're gonna do is add our ladybugs and make our ladybugs. So with those, we have our fabulous ladybug punch. So it will punch out the body and the wings. So I went ahead and I punched out 3 black ladybugs and 3 of the red wings, like so. But I am going to just stamp a few spots on there. So I think I'll just put these on my foam mat when I do that. So in the stamp set, we have a few different versions of the ladybug. You can also stamp the body and stamp the wings. We have this little guy too, and you could stamp this on top. There's a couple of different orientations that you could do your ladybug with, and I'm just going to stamp with these little dots here. And I'm going to do those in our black memento. And what's great about this stamp is that it fits exactly on these wings, which is awesome. Okay, so you got those, and then you have another one. Whoops. And then our third. Okay, so they're starting to look a little more like a ladybug. Okay, so now we can attach these wings on top. So you're going to attach these like a cape, right, on your little ladybug. and just right up sort of by the neckline there. And I know I have seen a few ideas where instead of stamping the dots, some people have used some embellishments. So for example, our black matte dots, some people have just attached those, or some of the other dot embellishments that we have. They've just sort of added those instead of stamping, which is another great little way to add some texture and interest to your card. So we'll do our ladybugs. So there they are, all three, quick and simple. Okay, so now what I want to do, before I assemble the box, I'm just going to get my ladybugs and all my pieces assembled on these panels, and then we will close the box. So I went ahead and I did some fussy cutting too with the leaves. And again, these are all from the Ladybug stamp set, this image right here. So I stamped this 3 times with Granny Apple Green on vanilla cardstock. So like my original, I'd kind of like this to look like our ladybug is slowly ascending up the tree. Okay, so we'll put these a little bit offset, but I am going to add a little bit of greenery at the top here too. So these I put down with just regular adhesive. If you wanted to pop them up with dimensionals, you could, but I'm just going to pop them with regular, and then I will pop up the ladybugs because I think that would look really cute. Ladybugs are such a friendly little insect, aren't they? They're so cute when you find them in the house and you just kind of let them on their way outside. You always wonder how they get in the first place, but they do. They're so sweet. Okay, so let's do this last one up here. And you want to try to make sure that it's inside those creases, right? Your score lines. But okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of greenery. So I was looking for some dies that had some greenery, and I found these ones, which are in the Forever Flourishing dies. And so I used this one here, but there are some other really good greenery images in here if you wanted to switch it up a little bit. Or if you don't want to add greenery, you don't have to. I just thought I just wanted a little something extra. And so I cut these out of Granny Apple Green. This one is not on an adhesive sheet, but this one is. I thought that would just make it so much easier to adhere these. So all I did was I just sort of snipped off pieces here of whatever I thought I wanted to use. And then you're just going to peel off your adhesive sheet. And then I'm going to attach these on the 3 panels. Now, of course, my fingernails are not working today. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this one maybe over here, like so, and just tap that down. And then maybe, like I say, it's total personal preference what you want to do. Maybe I'll just snip off this stem here. Let's do this. And these 2 leaves are attached, so I'm just going to snip those off and then snip off that. And you could do these out of a different color if you didn't want to use Granny Apple Green. Where's my take your pick? Let's see if that will make it easier. Or you could combine different greens too, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, so this one is quite small up here. Not a lot of space, but that's okay. And this one, I think we'll cut, whoops. This is probably the part that takes the longest. And like I said, it is optional. You don't have to add these on if you don't want to. I just thought it gave it a little something extra to look at, which was, okay, so let's try this larger one here. And so you really would only need like one of the large ones, and then just sort of cut it apart, or if you wanted to use some of the other images, you know, just decide which sort of leaves you would like. And if they overlap, that's okay too. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a few florals on there too. But again, that is optional. You don't have to do that either. You could just leave it. Do I want to add another one or just leave it? Maybe I'll just leave that. Okay, let's start with that and see how it goes. Okay, so I did also fussy cut some of the little flowers. Now this is optional too. You might have a die that would work better if you don't want to do a lot of fussy cutting. I know some people don't really enjoy fussy cutting. So I'm gonna pop these florals on with some mini dimensionals here, just to give it a little pop of color. And there are different sizes of these flowers here. And these minis seem to work pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna put that there. And it just all kind of comes together and looks really cute, I think. Our little ladybugs. And it's always nice to have a new punch. And that makes our punching just so much easier. I'll separate these two maybe. Try that and see, just to cover the end of that stem there. And like I say, if you don't want to fussy cut these, there probably are some flower punches, or you might have a flower die or an old flower punch that you can just punch out some flowers, or you could do different colors of flowers if you even wanted or not. It's totally up to you. Okay, so I'll leave those for the flowers. And now we can put on our ladybugs. So we're gonna have one here, and one here, climbing. And I think I'll use some of the larger dimensionals for this. And pop these up here. Okay, so we'll do this one here. And then we'll do a second one. And what some people do with this card too, instead of like doing the bark like I did, you could just add some designer paper in there as well. So I'm thinking, for example, let's say you want to do something with that beautiful new tulip paper that we have. You could just put some tulip paper on as one of the layers, and then add some tulip flowers or stamps or whatever. There's so many possibilities with the images you could put on this type of a card. Just so many possibilities of stamps and dies and different things. So play around with it, because you will be surprised what you can come up with. Okay, so that will be our base. So now all we have left to do is assemble it. So to do that, we're going to bring back this little piece, and I'm going to just make sure I have this on the right way. Yes. So what you want to do is make sure the fold is facing out. You don't want it to face this way, because then your hinge isn't going to work. Okay, you want to make sure that the folded piece will be right at the edge. Now, what I'm going to do is put some sticky strip on each side of this. So I'll just add, not sticky strip, that used to be our old stuff, the old red one that we used to carry. This is Terran tape. My goodness, I apologize. Shows how long some of us have been around stamping when we're reciting old product. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's peel this off here. And again, with that fold, and on the inside, you're going to line this up right at the edge, like so. Okay, and then if it's cut properly, this should just fold right on top like that. Okay, so let's get this off, and we will just fold this flat and press down. And ta-da! Our cube is complete. So you've got our ladybug starting there, he's starting to climb, and finally reaches the top. And may your greatest wish come true. So there you have it. And like I say, you can fold it flat and it will fit into a regular envelope. So I just want to show you one other project I did with this Ladybug Suite. I was doing a card sketch challenge with some of my customers, and I made this one. Everyone had the same template. We all had to come up with ideas. So I thought, I'm going to use our ladybug. So the only differences here is that this DSP is from the Pattern Party, the hostess set, or the host item that you can choose with host rewards. So this gingham is in there. And then I did use the bark as well, but I used it on the white. And then I just added some of our black matte dots onto there after our ladybug was assembled. Same sort of idea as cutting out, you know, the leaves and stamping, etc. No flowers on this one, but just a really, really cute set that I think you'll have a lot of fun playing with. So, just a reminder, celebration is on for one more month. We're getting to the halfway point. So if there are still some products that you would love to have for free with a $60 purchase, you're welcome to check those out on my website. And you can do that at christineledwig.stampinup.net. Email chris.ledwig@hotmail.com if you'd like to send me a note. January host code TZYVRSN7. You're welcome to use that at checkout on my website, and you're also welcome to follow me on Facebook, Pinterest, and my new YouTube channel, Christine Stamping Spot. They're all known as Christine Stamping Spot. And while you're at my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe. It's free to do so, and there are many other videos, and it's going to be updated constantly, so you'll always find something there. So I hope you enjoyed this cube card project today, and we will see you next time. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.